Good evening, guys. I have discussion E for you. Tonight, we are discussing the, uh, the rising cost of aging in America. That is the title of E tonight. Here we go with the presentation I made for you. Okay. The price of time, 6 lives caught in America's aging crisis. Okay. Aging in America is not a single story. It's a consolidation. 6 people moving through the same impossible math. The cost of growing old has outpaced what ordinary people can bear. The daughter Elena, holding up 2 generations. Elena used to think she could manage anything. She was the dependable one, the daughter who remembered birthdays, who kept the family calendar, who showed up. But when her mother, Margaret, when her mother's Margaret's arthritis worsened, the calendar became a battlefield. Home care agencies quoted $32 to $40 an hour. Medicare covered none of it. Eleanor tried to fill the gaps herself, driving over after work, cooking meals, sorting pills. She told her boss she needed flexibility. Her boss nodded sympathetically, then quietly remessaged her projects, reassigned her projects. Her savings drained, her marriage strained. Her teenage son asked why was she always tired? Elena didn't resent her mother. She resented a sister, assumed she could do this alone. Her husband, the husband Charles, watched the middle class disappear. Charles spent 42 years at the same manufacturing plant. He saved, he planned, he believed in the quiet dignity of the middle class. Then his wife, Lillian, was diagnosed with Parkinson's. The disease advanced faster than they expected. Assisted living cost $5,200 a month. more than their entire income. Home care was nearly $1,000 a month for just a few hours a week. Charles found himself in the cruelest place, too wealthy for Medicaid, too stretched for private care. He sold their camper, then their second car, then the land he hoped to leave to his grandchildren. Every sale felt like a small surrender. The home health aide, Marceri Marisol, caring for everyone but herself. Marisol spent her days caring for older adults, bathing them, feeding them, listening to their stories. Families adored her. Clients trusted her. But her wages, 15 an hour, no benefits, barely covered rent. When her father suffered a stroke, she became his caregiver too. She tried to replicate the physical therapy exercises she couldn't afford. She rearranged her schedule. She slept 4 hours a night. She was a professional caregiver and an unpaid one, two roles that collided in ways she never expected. Marisol's story reveals the quiet truth. The people who care for older adults are often one crisis away from needing care themselves. The widow, Ruth, alone in a house full of memories. Ruth's home was once full of children running down the hallway, her husband humming in the kitchen, neighbors dropping by unannounced. Now it was quiet, too quiet. After her husband died, Ruth tried to maintain the house alone, but the roof leaked, the furnace failed, the stairs became treacherous. She needed help, but the quotes were staggering. 8,000 for repairs, 35 an hour for home care, 6,000 a month for assisted living. Her social security check was $1,400. She began rationing groceries. She stopped turning on the heat until the cold became unbearable. She told her children she was fine, even though she wasn't. Aging had become a negotiation between dignity and survival. The nurse, Devon, watching the system collapse from the inside. Devon worked in a hospital where older adults filled every hallway. Falls, dementia, medication complications, caregiver burnout. He saw it all. He watched families arrive with spreadsheets and panic in their eyes. He watched older adults discharged to homes that weren't safe. He watched caregivers crumble under the weight of impossible expectations. He knew the truth. The healthcare system wasn't designed for longevity, it was designed for emergencies, not the slow, relentless needs of aging bodies. Every shift felt like a reminder that America had built a system that could save lives but not sustain them. The granddaughter, Maya, inheriting a crisis she didn't create. Maya was 23, working her first job, trying to build a life, but her grandmother's decline pulled her into a world she wasn't prepared for. She learned about Medicaid spend downs. She learned about waiting lists for home care waivers. She learned that long term care insurance was something her grandmother couldn't afford and her parents couldn't justify. She watched her mother, Elena, aged under the weight of caregiving. She watched her grandmother lose independence. She watched the future she imagined: graduate school, travel, stability, bend under the pressure of a system that demanded sacrifice from every generation. Maya realized something no one had ever told her. Aging is not just an issue for the old, it's a debt passed down. 6 lives, one broken system. Alina, Charles, Missouri, Ruth, Devon, and Maya live different lives, but they share the same impossible math. Care cost more than most families earn. Medicare covers almost none of long-term care. Medicaid requires poverty as an entry ticket. Family caregivers absorb the gaps with their health, income, and futures. Care workers are unpaid and overburdened. Younger generations inherit the fallout. This is not a personal failure, it's a policy failure. Aging has become a private financial emergency in a country that treats it as an individual responsibility rather than a collective one. The quiet toll. Elena's son wonders why she never Elena's son wonders why she's never home. Charles wakes up at night calculating how long his savings will last. Missouri cries in her car between visits. Ruth eats soup for dinner again. Devon give me 1 second here, folks. Paperwork. Finishes another shift, feeling hopeless. Maya wonders if she'll never or ever be able to afford her own future. These are not dramatic moments. They are the slow, grinding erosion of security, dignity, and hope. We can choose another story. Aging does not have to be a crisis. We can build a system where long-term care financing doesn't require families to grow broke. Family caregivers receive real support, not just praise. Home and community-based services are affordable and accessible. Care workers like Missouri earn wages that reflect the value of their labor. Housing and insurance policies reflect the realities of aging bodies and aging homes. These reforms are not radical, they are humane. The ending we deserve. Elena wants her mother to age with dignity. Charles wants to keep his wife at home. Missouri wants to care for her father without sacrificing her future. Ruth wants safety without shame. Devon wants a system that works. Maya wants a future that isn't defined by crisis. Their stories are not isolated. They are the blueprint of a nation unprepared for its own longevity. Aging is universal. The cost shouldn't be catastrophic, and no family should have to discover in the hardest moments of life that the price of growing old is more than they can bear. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow for shows. Until then, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.